killer new music. Let's try that again, shall we? G'day, how you going? Future Stoner Metal Mall Santa here. I realise I'm a bit late to the party with this list, but after another year spent sailing the seas and swimming in the sewers of underground extreme metal, I figured I'd put together a list of my favourite albums of the year. Holy fuck, it is hot right now. So, why am I doing this? I listen to a metric fuck ton of extreme metal, both underground and mainstream, and I also hang out in a lot of metal nerd online communities. So I'm constantly discovering killer new music. And every year a bunch of people and creators that I like put together lists very much like this one. Well, this year your mate has had a crack at it. So without further ado, let's get into it. As per usual, well, I guess it's usual now, I'm gonna get baked as fuck during the course of this video. So, first up, number 10, Weegadude, or Vegadude, or however the fuck you pronounce their name. There's always blood at the end of the road. I'm just gonna say Weegadude, because I don't know how else to pronounce it. Weegadude are not reinventing the wheel here. This is black metal exactly as you know it, but with a hefty serving of atmospheric noise and stripped back minimalism to make it really unique. It makes up for its lack of stylistic innovation with plenty of technical proficiency, and it is an awesomely punishing album to listen to. It's a really strong album from start to finish with absolutely no filler. Number 9, Spiter. Bathe the Babe in Bat's Blood. Jesus Christ, try saying that 10 times faster. Punk and black metal can be strange bedfellows at times, but Spiter pull off this mixture excellently. Bathe the Babe in Bat's Blood is a riotously fun album all the way through, where the bombastic energy of punk meets the gleeful darkness of black metal. This is the kind of album you headbang to with a huge shit-eating grin on your face. Not every band needs to take themselves seriously, Spiter definitely don't, and it makes for a really fun album. Number 8, Wormrot, Hiss. Hiss might just be the pinnacle of grindcore. Its 32 minutes are packed to the brim with incredibly well executed grind, but it never quite stays within the exclusive confines of grindcore. There's influences from across the board on this album that pop up in so many fascinating ways. Unfortunately, due to the vocalist leaving, Hiss serves as a kind of swan song for the Wormrot that we knew, and also a turning point in the band's career. Whatever they do next, it's going to be really hard to top this album. Number 7, Persecutory, Summoning the Lawless Legions. This is some fucking cavernous Turkish black and death metal. Their first album had a really fresh and interesting sound, and they've only expanded upon it and built upon it on their sophomore album. Their drummer is bashing out some of the most delicious fucking blast beats in the entire game. It's a perfect complement to the cavernous sound of the rest of the instruments all playing at once. Number 6, Watain. The Agony and Ecstasy of Watain. This is the kind of album that a band releases when they know exactly who and what they are. It's a tribute to their existence that isn't masturbatory or pretentiously grandiose. The tracks are a mixture of the sounds that are present on their previous albums, including their more sort of progressive black metal sound that they experimented with on The Wild Hunt. So there's everything from dissection-styled melodic riffs to cacophonous satanic blasting on display on this album. Jesus fucking Christ if it doesn't cool down. Fuck me dead. Number 5, Vermin Womb, Retaliation. The savagery of this album knows no fucking bounds. The only time it's not absolutely pulverizing your eardrums is when Ethan's guitar is doing some kind of feedback dive bomb that just goes straight into the pulverization. I've listened to a lot of extreme, fucked up, heavy shit in my life, but Vermin Womb has got to be one of the most extreme, fucked up, heavy bands on the planet right now. What's really funny is that Ethan is also in Primitive Man, and Primitive Man are also one of the most extreme, fucked up, heavy bands on the planet right now. So this guy totally has a monopoly on extremity, and he may very well be the heaviest son of a bitch on earth. Number 4, Antichrist Imperium.
Fortune favors those that play Satan's games with an open hand. Embrace the spirit of a demon being, to drench in a dawning angel face.
Wearing the album cover on my shirt right here. This is probably the weirdest entry on the list, primarily because of how surprising its songwriting can be. There's elements of goth rock and black metal all the way through it. There's gorgeously sinister melodic passages, clean vocals into death grunts, into clean vocals galore, and even some noticeable influences from pop. Shocker. Stylistically, the album lies somewhere between later Akakoka albums and Voices, which is no surprise since basically all three bands are sharing members at this point. This album is as extreme as it is succulent and seducing, and it also makes for a refreshing break from the rampaging intensity of the other 9 albums on this list. Now we're getting into the top 3, and at number 3 we have Werewolves, From the Cave to the Grave. These Aussie fucking legends only formed 3 years ago, and already they have 3 full-length albums, 1 EP, their 4th album is actually finished, and they've just started recording their 5th album. Holy shit, slow the fuck down, boys. We get it, you're better than us. While the rest of us were languishing in pandemic hell, these insane fuckers were hammering out some of the most obnoxiously brutal death metal known to man. I've always said that werewolves are to death metal what big, dumb, explosive CGI action films are to cinema, and they know their place in death metal, and each album just kind of builds in this insanity and intensity, and who the fuck knows what they've got planned for their 4th and 5th albums. But I am here for it, and I'm actually seeing them in February for the Canberra Metal Fest, which is going to be fucking sick. Number 2, Black Braid, Black Braid 1. This is an absolutely stunning debut album from one-man black metal project Black Braid that packs a whole lot of atmosphere and weaves in a bunch of indigenous American folk music and cultural and historical themes as well. It's actually just really refreshing to hear something like this. At one point, black metal as a genre was kind of becoming stale, so when a black metal album came out, you kind of knew what you were getting and it wasn't going to deviate too far from the norm. But there's a slew of bands who are reviving the genre by drawing influence from a whole bunch of other cultures and mythologies and styles of music outside of the European sphere. This is an incredibly emotive album, and you will definitely feel a connection to nature when you listen to it, so I heavily advise putting on headphones and walking through a forest with this album on. And finally, my album of the year, Dödsengel, Bab Alon. This album actually just came out in the middle of December, so it's a real latecomer that immediately found its way at the top of this list. I have a feeling it might be the best black metal I've ever heard, but taste is subjective, of course, so I'm not going to try and make any huge objective statements about the best black metal album of all time or whatever. It's an hour-long display of the utmost spiritual devotion, manifested by enchantingly dark riffs, with manic and often genuinely terrifying vocals over the top. And I'm not kidding, I genuinely have no idea how that vocalist does what he does, and I've been a vocalist for a very long time. It also features one of the most gorgeous pieces of album cover art by the very talented Mitchell Nolte. And anytime you see an album that has a Mitchell Nolte piece on its cover, you know it's going to be a really good album. This one is no exception. It is truly dark, mind-bending shit, and I fucking love it. Well, that's the end of the list. Jesus Christ, I need an ice bath. If you haven't heard me ranting about it before or seen me post about it online, every single month I curate a playlist of newly released music and albums that I discover throughout the month. I've been doing that for about 2 years now, so if you're keen to keep up with my relentless journey of musical discovery, there's a link to my Spotify profile in the description of this video. End of the video means dart time. I will be back with another video in the very near future. I don't know what it's going to be about, but maybe we can turn this channel into some kind of veritable variety show. If you feel like it, leave a comment down below, and let me know if there's any albums that came out this year that you think I might want to listen to. There's a fair fucking chance that I've already heard it, and there's a slightly less fair chance that it's already in one of my playlists, but it's worth a shot. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to, or like this video. Absolutely no pressure to do so. Wouldn't even say it's helping me out at this stage, I just want to make videos for the sake of it. And since it is Christmas Eve, whatever you happen to be celebrating, make sure you celebrate it well, make sure you celebrate it hard, and make sure you celebrate it safely. And as always, listen to extreme metal.
It's good for you.